If you can.
um, the window right
Yeah. And my little sister and her friend, I don't know why they joining same device. Hello, Lynn.
That's your little
And
sister. She's here in
oh, she,
in Vietnam.
yeah, she in Vietnam.
Oh, okay. So good morning, Vietnam.
Good morning, Vietnam.
All right. Just for the record, I recorded conversation so we can post it on YouTube, and then you can all review it later or whatnot. Okay. And also, there's a couple of
Oh,
things that I want to make sure that we have these conversations. There's quite a few sensitive topics, but I like to discuss and make sure that everybody understand what we sign up to do here. Okay.
okay.
It's nothing very scary or whatnot. We've done this many times, but we have an accident. We have the incident last summer. We definitely need to be very careful. That's
Yes,
good.
that's the one with the one hiker who like eventually, yeah, I heard that
Yes.
from your Facebook. Yeah.
Yes, so definitely from that experience, we very careful every time we plan something like this. Okay, I think it looks like
Yeah.
your team is all showing up. I think go Wendy. I have not seen go Wendy checked in, but whenever you're ready, we can just go ahead and kick off.
Uh, yes, I think yes we can start. So I have an agenda of what I need to get to
Yeah,
be
I give you
clear
a share
on.
privilege, so just go ahead and share.
Yes. Okay.
Let me post
So
Wendy so she know that we here.
okay, so first is the 5K day schedule,
Do you have the
and
date
I
yet?
think yes, I do. I share my screen now. It's all everything is tentative because I don't know the weather. I don't know the what can happen on that day, but right now I'm setting the day for July 26th, which is a Saturday, or July 27th.
July
So
26 or July 27? Okay,
yeah, so
weekend.
depends on if we want to do it a Saturday or Sunday.
Okay, all right. So from cái calendar của thầy, that's okay because thầy for sure this is your project, so thầy will make sure you have control of your schedule. But right now, 23rd
Yes.
to 25th, 23rd to 25th, I will be in New York City for a conference, and 29th to 31st of July, I will be in LAX. I'm hosting Bộ Công Thương Việt Nam to have a conference, have an exhibition in New York City, and after that they will move to LAX. So they will need to be with my a couple of CEO that I'm coaching, and they have the exhibition here. But when you do that weekend, the 26th and 27th, then definitely thầy
I can move it next week if that's okay. If
the
you,
week after then will be a lot easier because
yeah,
the week after that will be August. The only thing is that when you start pushing things out, the further into the summer, it's harder. But then we definitely can manage that too. Okay, because Houston will be warm in the summer no matter what. But let's take a
yes,
look really quick. If you push it back a week, it will be
yeah, that's totally fine. So we have one more day of training for the kids, and they actually have more time to fundraise, and that's okay. Whether 1 week is okay.
okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, once you firm up the date, then just we will work with the schedule.
Yes. What is that day for?
Hello, Jimmy. Hi.
Hi, Gong.
Hello,
How are you?
Chico.
Hello, hello.
We have people from Houston, we have people in Vietnam, and we have people in San Diego. So really, really the international squad here.
Full house.
Full house. Yes.
Yes, I have my classmate who I just met him. Like I have met him every week for class, and then I have my little sister. I have a speech crafter who graduated from my speech craft program. Chị Hiển Lê here. Yeah, and my little sister friend Jalin as well. So it's
Wonderful.
my close circle of friends.
Wonderful.
Okay,
That's
so
good.
the day is August 2nd or August 3rd, either a Saturday or Sunday. Which one will work better for you, Thai?
Saturday, Sunday will be fine with me because really take control my own schedule. It's just like if you do the weekend before, like I mentioned, they just have back to back in New York and LA can be tighter, but that weekend I can be either way. Either way đối với thầy cái ngày nào nó cũng ok hết trơn á. So cái ngày nào mà nó convenient for your in Houston team, then they will support either way. Just watch out that Sunday sometimes people have church or people might go to the temple.
Yeah.
So that could be Saturday maybe better. So that's one you have to ask all your key participants. But most of the time when we do this in San Diego, kinh nghiệm của thầy, from my experience, we usually do it on the Sunday.
Okay. Yeah, I think the people who I will pull, the children who I pull the participant from, they are going to the temple most likely. I think they will have summer school or the summer school will be over by that time. I don't know. I'm aiming actually for a Saturday so that they won't have conflicting schedule on Sunday. So do you think that the August 2nd would be okay?
Yes, right now, as long as we plan for that, we lock that in, and they will block it out. They will not take any more, requested travel or whatnot. So that I will reserve that weekend for you. And if you do on the Sunday, then most likely they will fly in Saturday. If you do on the Saturday, they most likely will fly in Friday, the Friday before, right? So that's usually the plan. Đối với thầy thì flying to Houston is pretty easy, only 2.5 hours from San Diego, so that's easy in and out. Yeah.
Yes, sounds good. And here's the actual agenda for that day that I have it tentatively. First at 7 to 7:30, everyone will come at the parking lot. I will show the map later.
Okay.
At the parking lot where they will start, and then there is I will have a short orientation, 7:30 to 8, because the path we actually go through where we have cross over the bridge and then some water area, so we don't want the kids to get too excited that they get into the dangerous area. So that we'll start a walk from 8 to 9:30, and I walk the walk myself. It took me about an hour.
Okay.
For the 3 miles. So I think 1 hour 30 minutes should be okay with a 10 minutes break in between.
Okay.
And then actually from the destination, there's a campsite nearby. I can reserve that area for that day. And then from where we stop after the walk, I'm thinking of having cars to either transport them back to the original one, so they take the car to the campsite, or we can take them to the campsite, because we're gonna have what next is the speeches by the participants.
Good.
Because they have 8 weeks of learning how to do a campaign speech. So this is the time for them to show what they have learned. And I have 3 minutes for each participant, 20 participants total.
Right.
I think that's a lot. Maybe I will group them together so they will learn in groups. Let's say a group of 4, and then the group will do a group speech, like group presentation to to advocate for, let's say they grouping together to sell lemonade, then they're campaigning to buy our lemonade after this,
Right.
so that they can sell more, fundraising more. And then we will, after all of the speeches, and then people donate, then we have some 10 minutes of counting, and then 11:30 to 12, we will have the award ceremony, in which we'll sum up everything, all the money that we have fundraised so far, and then we select the first, second, and third winner, who may be winning by categories like fundraise the most money, the group fundraise together the most money, or they hit at a certain KPI, a certain money, then they will receive a prize. I
Right.
had to think more about that, but we have some award ceremony here, and then after that, group picture, and then lunch, and that's it for the event.
Okay.
Yes, and that's the agenda. The first thing I want to hit was the agenda, and second thing is the materials, and of course we had to add a lot of materials here, but we will need a lot. First, because the tables, tents, tablecloth, and first aid, like a lot of these. So hopefully I can get a team from Go Wendy who may have access to us to borrow some of these. That would save a lot on the cost. Yes, I hope that, or I can ask the temple that I go to, maybe they can allow me to lend them, some of them, and I think we will need to have the medals prepared, so that's some cost. The T-shirt uniform, so let's say they all wear a uniform with the same color, so it's easy to spot any of them who lost track or anything. Because
Right.
I'm actually at a field trip today with a lot of kids, and that's really helped with the T-shirt uniform.
Yes.
And then yes, a lot of these stuff. And actually, I have a question about the EMT, like the group people who do the like emergency, or like any medical emergency, or that is a group that we can, professionals we can ask for help, or we had to be trained in that, like first aid and stuff for this event.
So I spoke to my daughter who is a EMT, and I asked her about these things. Luckily, I look at the park and the route that you go, Conan. It's very flat and it's not hard, but EMT is really challenging in this case, right? Because we do a walk and we have hundreds of people. It's not like it's a concert, everybody in one spot, and then they can just stand right next to you. If something happens, they can respond within a couple minutes. Let's say you walk out about a mile to even you call EMT, somebody fall or whatnot. They have to run to it, or they have to have the girder, or I don't know if the path they can drive their truck. It would take time. So a lot of times we look at all of these and we just want to make sure the safer way to say that, okay, we have somebody that can provide first aid at the base camp, or most of the team leader will carry a first aid kit. But then the thing is that we have to make sure everybody participate in the walk, they have to sign the waiver. Okay, they have to sign a waiver, meaning they walk at their own risk. Right? Because when they involve in walking, we don't know people medical condition, right? And that's why usually when they organize all of these, they hike the mountain, a lot more challenging, and the only way they can get to the mountain, they have to have helicopter. So in that case, we have to call 911, and then 911 can decide, okay, if somebody, fall and break their leg up in the mountain, they have to send a helicopter, come up there and rescue people. So in this case, we have to make sure people understand the risk, and they not going to do anything that beyond the physical ability. Meaning if they feel that, hey, I'm not wealthy, I'm not healthy enough to participate in this walk, then you have the option for them. They can hang around the park, they can walk around the parking lot, 10, 20 times. They have the group of old people, and even in a wheelchair, they still participate, but they just go around the park. Only the one that feels strong and capable, then they hike the mountain with a up and down, right? So those are the things that we have to make sure when we ask for participants, we have to explain to them very, very in thorough that they understand the risk that they sign up to do here, right? Because we cannot say, oh, I have all of these things for you, therefore no risk, because we don't know. Somebody have a heart attack, they show up and they walk just 5-10 minutes and they have a heart attack. So we cannot afford to take those kind of risks. So that's why we have to make sure that everybody participate and understand they walking is their potential risk, and everybody participate. This is a volunteer effort. This is a leadership, a fundraising event for charity, therefore not a pay, and we don't use the word pay. We strictly use the word donation, right? Because we don't collect fee, people just donate. So there's certain things that they will guide you through and make sure that we don't do anything that might get us in trouble based on my experience from last summer. But all of these things is that we will have a disclaimer and people have to sign waiver when they participate. So but even having the waiver, we still have to make sure we do all of these things by the book, because we don't want to show any sign of negligence. Because if we do negligent, then that definitely can go and say, hey, you organize this event, you didn't really follow the safety, therefore my uncle or my nephew or my grandma fall and die or whatever. So those are the things that they will be extremely careful with guiding you guys through this project. Okay.
Yes. And also, do you have someone in your team that knows a lot about the EMT that can walk with us
Well,
throughout
we have it, but we cannot really take that responsibility, because the EMT, like my daughter is an EMT, but she works for the company. So unless we hire her company to be there, she can participate, but she participate at somebody is a EMT trained, but she does not have all the equipment there to do. So that will be risk to her license, because if we say, oh, she's an EMT and then something go wrong, people still can sue her, right? So that's why we have to be very careful what we say we have and what we don't have, because we cannot say, oh, I have an EMT here, unless you really hire a company, have an EMT truck on standby and ready to rush people, right? They probably don't advise you to do that either. We just make sure that people sign up, understand that this is a volunteer effort and they do this thing at their own risk. And also they need to follow our guideline, right? And if they don't feel that they're capable of doing this thing, then they should not participate. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there will be the waiver that they will send to you, so you can use that waiver, and every single participant have to sign the waiver. That's the only way you can be protected.
Understood.
Right.
And also, I don't know about the 5K walking that you have hosted, but here at the beginning, where we start, there's a restroom, but at the end there isn't any restroom, and throughout the trail as well. Is that a problem, you think?
I think for 5K, it's not really a problem. People can always use the restroom before they heading out, and then when you walk, it's a loop, right? If I remember correctly, it's a loop back.
Is not actually.
It's not.
So it's a one way forward. It's 1 hour of about 2.7 miles, and in order to use the restroom to go back, you have another hour. But we plan to do one way only.
Okay.
Or if you want to, we can do both way. Then it will be 2.5 hours total.
Yeah, that's too long. Because when people show up and they park their car, you got to make sure you have to let them return back to their car, right? So the better way is to make sure you only do half of the loop and then people turn around. So you do halfway, like two and a half kilometers, so like 1.5 mile out, and then you have the marker that will be your midpoint. Everybody can take a group picture there, and everyone needs to walk back together because you don't want people to be away from their car. Because let's say, I'm just throwing a number, let's say you have 200 people, right? It would be a very, very difficult for 200 people find a way to get transported, walk back to their car. So when we look at the path, the route, you have to design the route that people can go in and come back out in the same spot. That would be a lot easier from the logistics standpoint.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let me pull up the trip. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can
Especially
see.
when you do this with a lot of young participants, therefore it should be make it easy for them, and they don't get lost or they don't need to go to the bathroom, and their parents still can go with them. All of these, jazz. So they recommend I do
Okay.
2.5 kilometer out, and then that's we've been midpoint, and just tell people turn around and then walk back, and that way you have
Yes.
better. Where's the parking lot gone? There where people park their cars when they show up.
They park here.
Okay.
Then B at the B. So we start walking here this way, and then when we reach the river, then we can walk back.
Yeah,
So that will be
that would
1
be
hour.
yeah. So if they get to the river, so how they cross the river? They have the bridge. There's a bridge or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's a wooden bridge.
Okay.
I don't know how it can handle 200 people or not, but when I walk myself there, it's very sturdy and very strong.
Yeah, we're not gonna do anything that risky. We're not gonna have 200 people climb on the bridge and then the wooden bridge and take picture. Don't do anything that risky. But before we get to the bridge, and then we can say, okay, here's a stopping point, and then here's a midpoint, and then everybody turn around, and we gotta make sure everybody turn around, and we have people, right? We make sure we have people, stop people right there, and don't let them go any further. So Thầy will teach you how to have a team. We call it a fitness team. So the fitness team or fitness director, that means somebody really in charge, and every single, every half mile. So we have somebody with phone that can get in touch and then make sure nobody keep going or get lost or whatnot. The key is that we got to make sure people understand they need to walk together and they need to all go back together. Okay, nobody can separate the team and start going on their own. Your trail is very one way in, one way out. But we don't want everybody to miss that turnaround point and keep walking and get lost, right? Because they get lost and then we don't know. So they would teach you how to have fitness, volunteer that make sure people get to the half point all together and everyone needs to go back.
And that fitness person, how many people are they in charge of? Because so I can design the team.
Depend on the group that you have, but I highly recommend that you will have the 2 leaders in the front and 2 sweepers on the back. The 2 sweepers, that means the 2 last people walking. Nobody can go behind the sweepers. Okay, that's why we call the sweeper, right? Because their job is to make sure nobody go behind them. And even somebody say, oh, I'm tired, I need to sit down, whatnot. The sweeper is supposed to stay with that person and make sure that nobody is trailing behind. And then in the middle, you might have some middle, but it really depends on the big group, but they will make sure. And when you're looking for volunteers, some of them could be parents. And if they fit and on this path, you can ride bike, right, Conan? If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So some people that really fit and they biker, and we can use the bike because if something happened, they can use the bike running back and forth a lot faster, right? Is this path both walker and biker can use, or this mainly for walker only?
Both can use it because I see bikers back and forth a lot.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
And also if there's a lot of biker, then we need to make sure we walk in the group and we alert people, because all of a sudden, let's say you have 100 people walking on that day, it will make all the biker very, very not very happy. All of a sudden they come out, they see a lot of walker. So those are the things that we always have to prepare, but they cannot do anything, right? Nobody, that's the permit that I would mention. You need to go get a permit. You have to call the park ranger of this and say, okay, I plan this event, and you need to make sure you have the number of people and say, okay, this event, I'm going to do a 5K walk, fundraising, and it would be 100, 150 or whatnot, whatever the number. And then they need to get a permit. So nobody can say, oh, why you do this thing and without a permit. We definitely need to have a permit.
Okay, I would definitely need that. So
Right.
I can start calling
Right.
calling them.
Yeah, Thầy does have the checklist, so Thầy will send you the checklist. I mean, I have that on my website, but when you're done with your overview, then I will show you where you can get most of the information. But also they have the document that can send it to you too.
Yes, it's wonderful.
Right.
Yeah, and then that will lead us to the next thing, which is how can people donate money? And is it through a website some sort, or is it cash only? How does it work?
This way is your project, so they will make you, they will let you decide, because one thing they want to make everybody on the team clearly understand, this is not the BuildASchool Foundation event. This is Conan leadership project, right? So this is not a fundraise that sponsored by BuildASchool Foundation. This is Conan's leadership project, and for the benefit of BuildASchool Foundation. So that's the distinction that we got to make sure people understand. So that means Conan responsible for everything, and this is really good to be a leadership, DTM caliber project, because I think it's worth it. But when you collect donation and everything, you can always say, okay, I'm collect this, and all the student fundraise here, and eventually they go to BuildASchool Foundation. But in the meantime, you can collect all of these through cash or check or whatever. Just tell your student or the participant, this is a volunteer effort, you can donate, and each of the student can have the form, right? They can say, oh, I'm enter this challenge and I participate in this 5K walk and I try to raise money. Who sponsor me? So usually when you see the student over here, when they do the 5K walk, they take home a sheet of paper and they look to sponsor. I walk 5K, how many dollars that you donate for each of the kilometer I walk? And they ask parent, they ask brother, sister, and then people just have the pledge card. So they will send you that form if you decide to do that. Or like you say, you have some student do a lemonade stand, so they just do the lemonade stand, right? So you can manage all of this thing yourself. If somebody say, no, I have a big check that I want to write and things like that, then they can always use the BuildASchool Foundation PayPal, right? So that we have the PayPal link that you can always, PayPal link to that. Or you can go to BuildASchool Foundation Facebook page, and you can create a fundraise on that, and people in America and anywhere else can donate. Not people in Vietnam though, because the people in Vietnam cannot donate to the Facebook in America. So, but if people in Vietnam want to donate, they can always donate the money, and then you can collect it somehow. But most of your participants will be in America, right? Or,
Yes, they in America.
yeah, if they're in America, they can use Facebook. Thầy will show you within like 3 minutes. You can set up a fundraise on BuildASchool Foundation page, and then we say, oh, this is Conan DTM, and then people can donate to that. The only thing about Facebook is that when you donate to Facebook, it go to PayPal, but then they will charge you a 2.9% fee for donation. If you go directly to the BuildASchool Foundation website, they have a PayPal link, then we pay no fee. Because PayPal, we are a nonprofit, so PayPal sign us up, and then we don't pay, nobody pay any fee. So that means $100 donation will go 100% to BuildASchool Foundation. Okay, and we can always have the link say this is Conan DTM project, and people can donate to that. So all of those things, they will show you all the mechanic of how to get these things. But if you say, hey, Thầy, I really need to manage this because I have a finance person here that can help me, and the finance person can collect the fee and do the report, then you can just do the Excel they trust that you know how to manage all of these things, and I'm not micromanage anything, right? Just think about whatever easy for you, then you can just do whatever that make it easy.
Yeah, because one thing is because we are doing like competition for each of the participants, and we need to track the amount they need to donate up to date, so in real time, and preferably update it immediately, and have a way somehow so they can look at each other like little leadership board. So that's something I am thinking, how can we display the amount of the money donated, that the groups they can see each other progress, so that there's a like competition between the team. Any platform that can help me to achieve that?
Yeah, in the past, I do have those platform in Vietnam. I think my team, Hiền Lê and Lương Lê sister, they have a youth
Yes.
group. They have the Gap Thiện Nguyện, but that's only for Vietnam. I don't think that will work in America. So, but in America, they have a lot of those apps too. They never use it just because there's a lot of app came and asked us to use it, and they want to feature all of that thing. Eventually, it takes more work than anything, because usually they take a lot of donation from corporation, and people write big check and stuff like that. But I envision you only have about maximum 20 participants, right? You shooting
Yes.
for about 20 participants. So I think might not be that difficult. Just tell each of them create their own Excel spreadsheet and track it, and then meet with you once a week and just keep you update of how much they rate, right? And then you can always do the leaderboard that way, but teach them, because you see them every week anyway, right? So part of their project is each week see you and tell you, hey, where is my Excel spreadsheet? How do you do this? This Speak Trap DTM, you do online, or you just do in person or online?
The trainings will be online for 8 weeks, and the 5K walk is the in-person one.
In person, right? So online, but all of these participants most likely will be in Houston, right? Because then they can participate in the walk. Yeah, so you can have online, just give them, hey, each of them have 1 minute to provide an update. And this is the part of your teaching them too, because the part of being a good leader, that you have to be able to manage finance, right? That means, hey, you have to know how to track a budget, and that's a skill that you can teach them. If somebody say, hey, I want to sell lemonade, that means how much it costs for you to buy sugar, buy water, buy lemon, and how do you collect it, and how do you keep track of all of this. So that's part of the teaching, that you can have the Excel spreadsheet and teach them how to do all of this. And then every week they just see you an update.
Oh, so they do need to track the expense too, like what they have made, like the amount they need to pay for sugar,
Exactly.
lemons.
Yeah, if they want to sell cookies, they have to go buy flour, they have to buy material, they have to bake cookies, right? And then they sell. So these is the lesson you teach here, that hey, sometimes it costs money to do fundraising, and they can go and collect. Sometimes the parents say, no, don't worry about it. I buy this thing for my children. But still, the value is teach them, oh, we have to go to the store, we have to buy all this raw material. Therefore, when you do the fundraise, you have to subtract whatever you raise and subtract whatever the material costs, right? So that in itself is a lesson that you can teach the children.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't considered that, but I will take that into
I mean, most of the people do lemonade stand for BuildASchool Foundation here in the summer. They go to the park, they do fundraise. Usually the parents just buy those for them. But sometimes the parents do keep track of those. So they teach the children, okay, to raise $200 lemonade stand. This weekend, we already spent, $50 on lemon and on, sugar and on all of these stuff, or cups, right? So all of these things are a very good lesson to teach children about entrepreneur.
Yes. And also, those are the main 3 things. And one more thing I want to ask is for proportional purposes, so to help the communication team to broadcast this to more people and to convince people to join?
Mhm.
Is there a particular school or a particular location that this is going towards so we can feature the story, or is it just as general for every kids?
We can pick a school project in Vietnam so you can all feel related. Đối với thầy là we build about 20-30 schools per year. So what we have rolling project, meaning I have project lined up, I have funding coming in, we keep going. But for this one, we might pick a school location and we say, okay, we try to fund this school in particular. The only thing about that is, let's say you do the fundraising, you target $5,000, but let's say at the end of the fundraising, you only can raise $2,000, so they will be short. And that's why sometimes they promise a project, they will find the funding to fund it anyway, right? So that's why sometimes we don't want to tie to the project, because then that project now have to wait. What happened to Conan project? Where the 3 more thousand? But in the end, if còn short thì thầy phải là người define cái funding để mà lắp nó vô. So thầy will pick, if you prefer a project in Vietnam, I will make sure I find your project. If you don't care, then we have project in Cambodia and Philippines, whatever the money rolling in, we can just fund the next project. But I can find something in Vietnam, because the neat thing about that is if you funded a project in Vietnam, one day when you return to Vietnam, or one day these kids visit Vietnam, they have a chance they can come and visit that school, because we have the dedicated plaque with their names on it, right? Or this is Conan DTM, project as a donor. So there's a name on the wall so people can come and take a look at them. Those are the leave a legacy part of our charity.
Yeah, because the thing is, our volunteers are mostly Vietnamese.
Yes.
And the target audience is Vietnamese Americans.
Right.
So that's why I think a school in Vietnam would be a great cause to advocate for.
Right.
And of course, I don't think I would particularly pick a school in that region or something like that, but a school in Vietnam would be best for this. But any school in Vietnam is fine.
Okay. Yeah, I make a note of this because it doesn't matter where it is in Vietnam, to get to the school that we need to build is very, very difficult, and people still have to make an effort. Like next week, they fly back to Vietnam, they go see the school in Hoàng Sư Phi, that means in Hà Giang, and then Tham Hanoi. I have to ride the bus for 8 hours to get to that school. And in Highland, Vietnam, from Saigon, we still have to ride the bus for 5-6 hours to get to the school. The one that easiest is the one that on this trip will be the one down to Trà Vinh. So from Saigon, we can just ride the bus for 3 hours, we can get there. But all the school we build is in the rural area. To get to all of these places is hard. It's not like in the major city, but that's exactly why we build, right? We don't build where it's already well established. You only go to where people really need help. But they will try to select and save a project for you in somewhere that I think is reasonable, that when you return, you and a lot of these participants can come and visit. Because I think that's a very meaningful thing that you guys doing. So they will make sure they try my best to make sure that we select a project and nominate a project for your team.
Yes, thank you. And
Go Wendy.
that is
Sure, go Wendy. Thank you, Wendy, for participating.
So
tax
sorry, yeah,
season
I
again.
still have project due tonight and tomorrow. Tax season.
I know tax season is around the corner. Hey, just turned in my tax season yesterday. That's why yesterday. That's why I'm so happy.
Okay. All right, bye everyone.
Okay, all right.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll keep in touch.
Yeah, Go Wendy definitely can motivate people from her church and think to participate. But I think it's really interesting that the last time Go Wendy helped a 5K walk in Houston, it was in 2016. So it's been a while. So it's really, really interesting to see that you doing this project in Houston and get her involved.
And also because I think having a cap of 20 students who participate in the Zoom training I think it's quite somewhat limiting. because what if the kids can what if I open this to anyone, they can just register their name and they're gonna do the fundraising, but they opt not to take the training, the a week's training, so that we can support more
Right.
participants. So for example, let's say 100 kids interested,
Right.
but only the 20 kids who register first will receive our 8-week training,
Right.
and the 80 they can just maybe learn a little bit from the ones who receive the training,
Right.
or they just go and then they learn by themselves. They learn the leadership by themselves and they start selling lemonade also, so that I can open this to more people, which
Right.
can potentially get back more money. What do you think about this idea, Thai?
Yeah, I think that right now, because you have to conduct for 8 weeks, so having the 20 student cap is a lot better for you, because then it's manageable for you, right? Because let's say now it's 100, then it's too much for you to do. So I don't recommend you to do that. But what I suggest you is that you need to open this way because you want more people participate. Because when I look at these and let's say, okay, Conan go with $5,000, so I can make it, I do a break it down smaller. So if you have $5,000, it sounds a lot for Conan to do. But since you have 20 participants, even 20 participants sign up, they take the 8-week class, I already think that's a challenge. It would be harder than you think. But then let's say you can manage to get 20 participants, then now the allocation for each of them only $250. So the KPI, each of them need to meet 250, right? And that's very doable, right? Be 250 times 20 would be 5,000. So for 250 per student, then now they can go find, 10 people, each of them donating $25, or 50 people, each of them donating $5. You can show them all kind of different way to how to get there. But for the folks that still say, oh, I do want to sign up for my kid, you might say, hey, for this session only, we limit to 20, but I can put you on the waiting class or the waiting list, and maybe in the fall, in the winter, when I have a break, I can offer another training similar to this, right? So you can always offer people more opportunity. But you can say you open to participate, you open to register, you open to participate this walk and come, and even the walk-in day is have plenty of opportunity for the children to learn and still feel that it's a meaningful thing for them to participate without going through the 8 weeks training. Make sense?
Okay. Yes. So the 8 weeks training will be closed to only 20 maximum,
Right.
but the walk is open to all.
That's right. The walk is open to all. The walk is open to all. We still want the 20 participants actively go recruit and find people, but we open it to the public because people at Chùa, right? A lot of people at Chùa might not send their kid, or they don't have kids to go to your class, but they like to do the walk. They like to participate. Then we're not going to say no to those people, right? So that's why when we do this, we have the target audience. We also have the second level, like F1, participant that not actively participate. That would be my recommendation.
Yes.
Yeah, the 20 participant that you hope to teach them 8 weeks, those will be your F0, and everybody, their family member, their friend, everybody will be F1, and whoever their friend, their family member can recruit, that will be F2. So we have to look at this at the way to expand it, and the more people participate, that means the less dollars per person that you need to be able to get, so you can meet your target.
Yes. Okay, I think that's all the question I have. Any of my team have question for Thầy? But Uyên, Helen, Chị Hiển, any question?
And we have
Oh,
somebody like Mafia or Maria or
yeah, she's one of my speech drafter from Ukraine.
Oh, okay. Somebody from Ukraine.
Maria, right? Hello, Maria.
Hi, sorry, I have really bad network.
Yeah, it's okay.
But I really
She will be like the VPE for the A training.
Okay, okay, so we'll
She's
help you with the education part. Good.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's all the question I have today. Thank you so much for your time, Thai, for
I'm going
this.
to share with you a couple of things, and then the rest of the team they will make sure they open it so the rest of the team can ask questions and things like that. First of all, like I
Okay.
mentioned, there will be a liability waiver, right? So they see everybody participate with BuildASchool Foundation. Like next month when they return to Vietnam, they will have uh, in the north, I will have 7 Americans to travel with me to the school up in Hoàng Su Phi. And when I travel to Trà Vinh and Cambodia, I will have 8 people from Canada will travel with me. Everybody have to sign the waiver because to me, they don't sign the waiver, they will have no ability to participate. So even though this event, Conan is your leadership thing, but just because you use BuildASchool Foundation as the recipient and all of this stuff, we want to make sure that you understand that you do all of this as a volunteer effort, and you will make sure you release all the officer of BuildASchool Foundation from any potential liability, right? So this is just the very precursor, so they will make sure they send you this information, and also this information needs to be conveyed to other people that participate on this event. This is something that our lawyer recommend us, all the other thing we do from this point forward, it got to go through this process, and this is to protect everybody. So that's the first part. The second part is that how to participate in the 5K walk or whatnot. They have on my FAQ website, they do have these, okay, how to organize a 5K walk and stuff like that. They does have they do have a form right here. I will send it to you and make it simple, how to pick the team, how to walk the trail, and there's a checklist, there's a permit, all that stuff. They make sure they send all this information to you. But the key that they really want to make sure Conan really understand this is your leadership project. Okay, so Conan will be the one responsible for all the permit that the city of Houston might require to do the organization walk, okay, or do some kind of event. Even though we use the park, normally people can use the park, but now we have the group of people, then we definitely say, hey, I need to make sure, even we need to ask, say, do I need the permit to do this? And they can say no, right? But I recommend have this thing in writing, meaning ask via email instead of the phone call. Because the phone call, they say no, and then later on somebody say, oh, that person is wrong, then it's still like she said, he said, right? We got to make sure it's in the email form, right? But last time, Go Wendy did need to have the permit. She did a Sugarland park last time. She did a Sugarland, so I know that to use a Sugarland, she needs to apply for a day use permit for a group. So make sure that you follow those. And if you need some funding for that, that could be part of your fundraising, or they definitely can cover that permit for you. But that could be part of your fundraising. It might be the $60, $90, but that's always a part of the fundraising that we have to account for. They already say a lot about safety. The only thing that you're going to safety before you do the walk, you have to have the safety brief, and you need to have a fitness director and a safety director. Meaning, okay, people need to walk with water. They're planted with water. Houston will be hot in the summer, so we have to be extra careful. We recommend everybody have water with them, have extra bottle of water. We can go to Costco, get a whole bunch of stuff. And, if you are short of water, please take extra, because we have water here for you. Water is cheap. I definitely don't want anybody not having a bottle or 2 extra bottle of water. I'd rather see people have extra water at the end, and we might, take it home, or I'll give it to people at the park. Then we don't have enough water. That I cannot stress enough of that fact. Okay, we have water. We need to have sunblock. People need to wear long sleeve shirt. People need to have sunblock on the children. All of these things will be the safety brief that we got to make sure we go through, and everybody need to listen. But the thing that we definitely need to make sure everybody follow Conan, nobody walk by themselves. himself or herself. They have to walk in the group, right? They cannot go solo. And we have the leader, that means those are the two gotta be in front, and we have the two sweeper, those are the last two that gotta go, and nobody can fall in, nobody can go ahead of the leader, and nobody can go behind the sweeper, because that's how we make sure the whole group is together. And I cannot stress enough, those are extremely important, and we need to make sure everybody fully understand that, right? And if we have to use like balloon along the path to make sure these is the signal that they belong to this group, and if you have to use chalk or you have to use white flour to put it on the ground so people know this is the trail that we walk together. Your trail seems very simple. Cái trail thầy High Mountain, nó can turn left, turn right, go everywhere. So I have my fitness director in the morning run up and put the chalk everywhere and put the arrow everywhere, and we use the spray paint, we do all of that, and people still deviate and get lost. So that's why it's extremely important. We have to take safety seriously.
Yes. What's the balloon? Can you say that again one more time?
Balloon. That means you inflate the balloon and then you tie it to the branches, right? And or sometimes you can use the ribbon. You can use the ribbon to signal this is the trail, right? In case that you have left turn, right turn, whatnot, then you got to make sure you have all of these signals so people know, oh, this is our trail. But if your path is only one path going in and one path going back, then we don't have to do a lot. But it's always good to have every 100 feet or so, you have a sign and say, 5K, Conan 5K walk, Conan 5K walk, and the people understand. But that's why it's really important to make sure people understand the safety brief and they need to follow. And that's why I'd rather see you prepare this thing like 100% over extra than we don't do enough, and then we show any sign of negligence, because we have any sign of negligence, like we don't have enough water, we don't have enough shade, we don't have enough band-aid when somebody fall and have a scratch, then people say, oh, we negligent. But if we have all of these things, then nobody can accuse us of anything.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a serious event. If something go wrong, it will be something very fun, very rewarding when everything go right. And cái objective của thầy là teach you everything, so you understand the potential risk, but also you have all the tools so you don't make any mistake. Okay, I'm not going to stop doing 5K walk. I'm not going to stop hiking the mountain. I'm not going to start doing fundraising just because we have the incident last year. So the message I try to convey to you is that I believe in your leadership project that you do. I support you 100%. I just need to guide you, and you just need to make sure that we have a very good team and only do what we think we can. Don't try to do too much too hard. And then, it becomes so difficult, and then we don't, do a good job. Okay, that's really the message I try to convey.
Yes, I think that's very comprehensive. I learned a lot, and I'll be sure to try my best to meet all of these that you have said. For sure. Yeah, I have a team with me, so
Right.
I'm sure they can help me have my back, and I'm sure this will be a successful event. Yeah.
Yes. The key that the people on the ground in Houston that help you on that day, because anything can go wrong, it go wrong on that day, right? Not a lot about the planning, the PR, all this stuff is easy. But if somebody fall, if somebody run, somebody trip, somebody get hurt, most likely on the walk day. So that's why that day is extremely important. All of the planning, all of these things that they try to show you and teach you, that prevent anything can go wrong. And we still have to plan for things go wrong, right? So that's why you have to be ready to call 911. Or we teach people, if you get lost, if you feel dizzy, if you feel like you fall and you get hurt, the first thing I want you to do is call 911. Because the minute you call 911, your location will be tracked by the 911 call, and then they can pinpoint find you right away. You don't call 911, you call Conan, you call friend, you call your mother, you call your sister, then they use the cell tower triangulate, and that's not accurate at all, and they still have a hard time finding where you are. So these are the things that in the safety brief before we walk, we have to say, if you're in the emergency, you're in trouble, then the first thing I want everybody to do is call 911. Because when you do that, then your location, that long position will be pinpointed directly to the safety people, and they can send police, they can send, a helicopter, they can send whatever to go find you. That piece of information is extremely important. They have to call 911 before they call Conan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
Thầy
that's
think là
it
thầy
then.
share with enough information. Thầy have a lot more information to email to you. And Gia Linh Uyên, Bách Bùi, any question from you that thầy can help answer about PR, about marketing, or about other things that you try to help Conan here?
Well, for the moment, I don't have any question yet. Maybe down the line, I will have some more.
Okay.
But I just understand that like the today meeting is that it's important when the event happens and make sure that all of the participants to be safe and the
Yes.
waiver to be signed. That's all I understand.
That's it. The risk management and the safety concern have to be our number one priority. Yes, it's the number one priority. We do this right, we avoid a lot of headache down the road. We have permit, we apply for permit, we have all of these things, we check whatever the city of Houston requires to have when we plan a big get together like this. You have to go down the checklist and make sure everything is checked, right? And if we do all of that thing, then nobody can accuse us of negligence at all.
Yes, I understand.
Okay. How about the two ladies in Vietnam? Are they in Hanoi or are they in Saigon, Conan?
They in Saigon.
Gia Linh and Uyên, anything from Gia Linh and Uyên, or maybe Hiền or Hiển? Gia Linh and Uyên,
Hiển.
any question or anything from you? Bọn con mở mic lên. You can speak Vietnamese too. Thầy understand Vietnamese too.
Well, actually, we don't have any question. Yeah. And I think that Mr. Conan and the other members can have a good like plan for this project.
Okay.
Yes. And yeah.
Right. You will learn a lot when you do this kind of thing because it's really real, right? This is not just on theory or we just sit down and make a speech and stuff like that. That's the easy part. To plan an event like this take a lot. And there's a lot of things can go wrong, but a lot of things you will feel very rewarded at the end. And this is the experience that I really enjoy and passionate about teaching your younger generation to do, because you would put so much communication, you would put so much leadership, you would put so much management into one of these, and it will help you a lot in running your company or running your team and all of that stuff in the future. So this is a very, very worthy effort. It's really worth a DTM project. Yeah, and definitely we'll give a material to write an article for a Toastmaster magazine too. So that's a lot of good things.
Oh.
Yeah. Hiền or Hiển, anything from you? The one with the cute piglet?
I'm a new volunteering. This is my first time volunteering online.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for someone need to volunteering like me?
For the first time volunteer, then you doing just great. So you just watch and learn and participate. The only thing is that you probably hear Thầy say a lot of things like, "Oh my God, why this thing sounds so scary?" But this is just America. People suing everybody, so we just have to be very careful. That's all. And I'm not shy away from anything. I still marching on. I still try to be more school of the children because I believe in the mission. I believe in the purpose that we're doing here. That's why I'm not shy, I'm not afraid of anybody suing us or whatnot. I'm just be very careful and I do everything right. So that's why we can protect everybody. And we learn and we grow and we serve the children that we try to serve. So the mission we have is very meaningful. The work we do here is very challenging, but we don't do it because it's easy, right? We do it because it's tough and it's difficult. That's exactly why we're doing this thing, right? So that's why sometimes people look at us and say, oh my God, we build like 20, 30 schools a year. We make it look so easy, but in reality, it's not easy, right? You can see, just plan one project like this, only a lot of things. Imagine now they will take like 15, 20 people back to Vietnam and go to the jungle, and any of them can get sick, and any of them can get car accident any day, anytime. So there's a lot of risk involved, but I manage that risk, and I'm not going to stop doing what I love because somebody might sue me. That's not gonna stop. Hey, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm really admire young folk like you because everybody can pick a very easy project, and you can still achieve your check and then achieve your DTM. But the meaning is really not there compared to you do something that is so challenging, but the rewarding will be there. And you teach the younger generation, all the teenager, you teach them a lot of lesson how to be a better leader, how to be a better communicator along the way. That's something that they always admire in a younger generation. Are you a Toastmaster too, Con?
Yes.
Okay, good.
He just joined our club after the speechcraft.
Perfect, good. And you in Vietnam too, right?
Yes, yeah. I'm Vietnam.
What city of Vietnam?
Ho Chi Minh City.
Okay, Ho Chi Minh City. Okay, good. All right, good. Any other last question from you, Conan, before we sign off?
I think that's it. If I have any other question, I will send it to you.
Cool. All right. They have a couple action items to send you the checklist of how to do the 5K walk and also the indemnification. So make sure that you read through that, and then they will guide you how to do a waiver, and everybody participate. You just make sure they sign that waiver. We can have that on a Google form so people can just go and do it online, so we don't have to collect paper everywhere. So that's a way that we can simplify the process.
Actually, one question. So the volunteer waiver, only the ones that help with the 5K work need to sign it, right? Because the 8 weeks of training, who people in Vietnam, they're not really doing. They don't need to sign.
No, I think you probably the only one need to sign because you the leader, like you kind of like a project leader in this case. So you should understand everybody else kind of working for you, and we don't really actively, go on the bus and go to the school or do any other thing that potentially can be risky, right? It's just only you and the thing that you plan in city of Houston. Those are the things that, I think one waiver from you to understand that you do this at no potential risk to BuildASchool Foundation, officer. I think that should be good enough.
Okay, so this waiver only for the one who we signed it, and then the one who actually on the 5K walk in Houston,
right,
to sign it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. All right. I need to run up to another meeting here. Thank you so much for all of your time and all of what you try to accomplish here. Again, they say what we do here is definitely not easy at all. Even though we might make it look easy, it's not easy, but it's very meaningful. They just commend all of you for step up to the challenge and try to do the hard thing instead of take the easy way, and you still can achieve your DTM. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Everybody enjoy your weekend, okay?
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Signing out from San Diego here.